Imagine a modest living room in a middle-class household in India in 1982. There's a frantic yet happy energy in the house because it's a wedding day. A father watches his daughter get ready to start her new life. He feels proud, perhaps a little heartbroken, but he's holding on to a secret he's kept for an entire decade. 10 years ago, when his daughter was just a little girl in school, he walked into a local dealership and put down a deposit for a Bajaj Chetak scooter. He didn't buy it for himself, he bought it for today. 10 years of waiting. Just think about that. Today, we lose our minds if a YouTube video takes 5 seconds to buffer, or if our food delivery is 10 minutes late. We live in the age of now. But back then, India was a different world. It was a shortage economy, and in that world, a Bajaj scooter wasn't just metal and rubber. It was a family member. It was the ultimate "I've made it" trophy. If you had a Chetak, your neighbours looked at you with a new kind of respect. It told the world you were reliable, you were stable, and above all, you were patient. For decades, Bajaj Auto didn't just sell vehicles, they sold the Indian dream. At their peak, they held 60% of the market. They were untouchable. However, here's the truth about being a king. When you focus too much on your crown, you may lose sight of the road ahead. This is the inspiring tale of a titan's fall, and the courageous choices a son made to protect his father's legacy from fading away forever. To truly understand why Bajaj feels so connected to us, we must examine its essence. This is not merely a corporate case study, it's a narrative about the very spirit of India. The founder, Jamnalal Bajaj, was not a callous tycoon. He was the man whom Mahatma Gandhi referred to as his fifth son. Bajaj spent more time in British jails fighting for freedom than in boardrooms. He envisioned an India that could stand on its own 2 feet long before Atmanirbhar became a popular buzzword. When his son Kamal Nayan took over after independence, he faced a nation that was finally free, yet still struggling to progress. Most people were either walking or using bullock carts for transportation. Inspired by the Vespa he had seen in Europe, he thought, this is what India needs. In 1960, he introduced that Italian dream to our dusty roads, creating a perfect fusion of Italian style and Indian resilience. However, in 1971, this successful partnership came to an end. The Italians, seeing the enormous demand, became greedy. They withdrew from the collaboration, expecting Bajaj to collapse without their so-called superior European engineering. They didn't know who Rahul Bajaj was. However, Rahul remained calm. He took those Italian designs, reinforced the steel to withstand Indian potholes, and simplified the engine so that a village mechanic could fix it with just a prayer and a screwdriver. He named it the Chetak, after the legendary horse of Maharana Pratap. For the next 25 years, Hamara Bajaj, our Bajaj, became the soundtrack of our lives.
ये ज़मीं ये आसमां, हाँ ये ज़मीं ये आसमां, हमारा कल हमारा आज, हमारा कल हमारा आज, बुलंद भारत की बुलंद तस्वीर, हमारा बजाज, बुलंद भारत की बुलंद तस्वीर, हमारा बजाज, हमारा बजाज.
It was the scooter that carried 4 people to the movies on a Sunday, and it was the scooter that took 1 million fathers to work. But while Rahul was celebrating his monopoly, he didn't notice that the world was changing right under his tyres. In 1984, a small partnership known as Hero Honda unveiled a 100cc motorcycle. Inside Bajaj, there was laughter and disbelief. They thought, a bike? You can't carry a sack of flour or a family of 4 on one. Bikes are for movies, scooters are for real Indian families. But little did they know, they were about to witness a remarkable shift. They were wrong. Terribly wrong. In 1991, India's economy underwent significant reforms that marked the end of the Licence Raj, a system that restricted economic growth through strict regulations and permits. This transformation led to increased market liberalisation, allowing consumers greater access to goods and services. As a result, individuals no longer faced long waiting periods for products like scooters. For the younger generation, iconic models like the Chetak, known for its outdated design and mechanical issues, did not symbolise freedom or progress. Instead, they were perceived as relics of their parents' era. The youth were seeking something more. They yearned for the fill it, shut it, forget it lifestyle, a ride that promised comfort without the jolts. By the late 1990s, Bajaj faced significant challenges. However, in a landscape dominated by Hero Honda's beloved splendour, the spirit of innovation remained essential. Though Bajaj launched attempts to revitalise its lineup, the journey was tough. Many viewed Bajaj as merely a scooter company, yet beneath it all was a pulse of determination. The king may have faced trials, but every setback is an opportunity for a comeback, signalling the dawn of new possibilities. This part of the story always resonates with me. It's about a father and a son. Rahul Bajaj was a legend, but he was also human. He had a deep emotional connection to the scooter. It represented his life's work. In contrast, his son, Rajiv Bajaj, approached things differently. As an engineer, he focused on data rather than memories. And the data clearly indicated that the scooter was obsolete. Rajiv walked into his father's office and said the words that would change their family forever. "We have to stop making scooters." Imagine the weight of that moment, like asking a painter to destroy his finest masterpiece. His father was heartbroken, leading to public arguments and family tensions, with critics labelling Rajiv as arrogant for seemingly undermining the soul of the company. Yet Rajiv dreamed of something greater. He immersed himself in research and development for 5 years, refusing to settle for just another commuter bike. He aimed to create an icon. In 2001, they launched the Pulsar, a testament to vision and courage.
How could I let her go? Bajaj Pulsar, definitely male.
If you were a kid in India back then, you would remember the Pulsar, a symbol of strength and confidence. It was muscular and bold, with those striking wolf-eye lamps. Rajiv didn't simply sell it to families, he aimed it at the male. The Pulsar made you feel like you truly owned the road. It didn't just save Bajaj, it transformed the brand entirely. To pave the way for this transformation, Rajiv made the courageous choice to officially shut down the Chetak line in 2009. He understood that sometimes you must let go of the past for the future to soar.
Take KTM, for example. In 2007, KTM was a struggling Austrian brand. Rather than just buying a stake, Bajaj took bold action by shifting KTM's production to India. Today, every small KTM Duke on the streets of London or Tokyo proudly boasts "Made in India" by Bajaj. They followed a similar path with the British icon Triumph, crafting world-class bikes that are now flying off the shelves globally. Fast forward to today, Bajaj isn't merely surviving, they are flourishing on the global stage. They understood that true leadership demands stepping beyond the familiar. They continue to innovate, having launched the Freedom 125 in 2024, the world's first CNG motorcycle. In an age of soaring fuel prices, Bajaj returned to their roots, harnessing high-tech engineering to uplift the middle class. Now they are India's #1 exporter, transcending the label of Hamara Bajaj to truly belong to the world. So what's the real takeaway here? It's a powerful lesson about courage. Rajiv Bajaj famously said, "To be a leader, you have to be a specialist." He dared to relinquish being the king of everything to become the master of one thing. He taught us that we cannot move forward while carrying the burdens of past successes. The Chetak had to give way for the Pulsar to thrive, and the Pulsar's success empowered Bajaj to conquer the world. Bajaj's journey is a testament that the biggest risk isn't failure, it's complacency. Stagnation is simply a slow path to extinction. So I encourage you to reflect. In your life or business, what is your Chetak? What is that one thing you cling to because it once worked, even though it now blocks your progress toward tomorrow? If this story of grit and rebirth resonated with you, please hit that like button. It helps us continue to share inspiring stories. If you have a memory of an old family Chetak or your first ride on a Pulsar, I'd love to hear it in the comments. And if you seek more explorations into the brands that have shaped our world, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.